Alright, I'm at the cabin and I want to show you guys my fruit stash. So if you follow this channel for a while, you know that I've been to this cabin before. I usually go here, well, for different purposes, but I've been here a few times in the past working on ebooks, and that's the case now as well. I'm working on a new ebook. Very exciting, stay tuned. Yeah, so I wanted to show you the fruit stash. And so in the past I've had pretty big fruit stashes, as you know if you follow this channel. Nowadays my diet is a little bit more reliant on grains. I just find it a little bit more practical, and I'm constantly experimenting. So at the moment my fruit consumption isn't huge, which is an interesting experience, but I still eat more fruit than most people, of course. So let's take a look at my fruit stash and talk a little bit about what I have and how I consume it. Alright, so I put it up here. I hope you guys can see it. Well, let's talk about the most obvious element, bananas. I still eat a fair bit of bananas. I used to have big banana smoothies twice a day, going easily through 15 to 20 bananas a day. Now I have oatmeal for breakfast and usually home-baked bread for lunch. I'll try and get a what I eat in a day video out at some point. So that's what I'm doing right now. It's working pretty well. I'm not gonna say that it's better than an all tropical fruit diet, but I do find that I get a little bit more variety in instead of just relying on bananas. And if I was in the tropics, of course, I would eat more heavily fruit based. I would probably be fruitarian still because there's so much variety. In Norway, the variety isn't that great, but bananas are awesome, of course. I'm a big fan of bananas, and if you want to learn about bananas, of course, you should check out my ebook, The Little Banana Book. I'll put a link to it there and in the description. So, a bunch of bananas. Hopefully they'll ripen slightly differently. If I want them to slow down, I'll put them in the cold spot. If I want them to speed up, I'll put them near the stove, etc. So those are the bananas. I have a banana on my oatmeal, and I also eat the bananas just as they are, of course. Grapes, just for snacking. I've never found grapes to be a great meal alternative. It's just a little bit, well, unless they're very sweet, but otherwise I don't really feel like it digests that well. But a few grapes now and then feels really nice and fresh. Bunch of apples. Okay, so I have a few apples here, and I have those on my oatmeal. So pretty much one apple a day. To keep the doctor away, right? I just chop it up and put it on the oatmeal with the banana and also with some sunflower seeds. So those are my apples. I have a bunch of conference pears here as well. Usually just have one of those in the afternoon usually, or pre or post run. If I'm coming home from a run and I'm gonna do some stretching perhaps, maybe I'll have a pear, some water, and then do my stretching, and then have my proper lunch half an hour later, right? And of course, as you know, I have a running channel where I talk about running and running nutrition and all kinds of things about training. So check out the link to my running channel here and there in the description. Go subscribe. Dried figs, really great little snack if you're out on a run, or if you want to bring some concentrated calories with you. Those are great. So I have those. Tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, just the small ones. I have those on my when I eat my bread with the avocado on. I have my tomatoes over the top there as well. And of course, as you just heard, avocados. So I have a stash of avocados here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 avocados. Almost one per day, really. I stopped eating avocados. If you watch this channel, you've probably seen my old video why I don't eat avocados anymore. And those reasons are still valid, but yeah, they just taste too good. I just love avocados, and they're just so good on the bread. And I feel like if I'm supplementing with omega-3, which I am, it sort of balances out the excess of omega-6 from the avocados, and there's a lot of other healthy nutrients there, of course, as well. So that's really my fruit stash. That's all I have for my fruit, really. Not that huge. In the past, I would probably eat all of those bananas in one day, I would almost eat all of this fruit in one day, I think, in the past, except for maybe all the avocados. That would be a bit too much fat in one day. But mostly this would be like 1 day's worth of food, really, as a fruitarian. But I eat a lot of other good foods as well. Let me show you some of my vegetables maybe in the fridge. Let's take a look. Alright, so greens. Every day I pretty much have one of these lettuces. Sort of like romaine lettuce. I also eat about half a head of cauliflower or broccoli, steamed lightly. Once a week I have a beer, an alcoholic beer, once a week. It's not healthy, but I love it. The other days I usually have alcohol-free beer, or this is, I don't know, this is like malt beer, vørterøl in Norwegian. That's also pretty nice. So celery, sweet potato. I eat a lot of sweet potato, although right now it doesn't look like it, but usually 1 per day almost of those. Carrots. So that's really what I typically have. Here's my apple juice that I have for lunch with my bread. Cucumber on the bread. Sometimes a little garlic for my pasta dinner. And pickles, of course. Lots of pickles on the avocado, on the bread. So bread, avocado, pickles, tomato, cucumber. Oh, it's so good. So that's my fridge, and yeah, my fruit stash, as you saw. Pretty nice. And this is my supplement stash, okay? I do take a lot of supplements these days. Maybe we'll get into that in another video. Alright guys, that's it. You saw my fruit stash, you saw my vegetable stash, and of course, as I told you, the other calories are basically coming from bread, pasta, and oats. So I'm happy with it. It works pretty well for me as an athlete here in Norway. And I'm really enjoying my food a lot. So let me know in the comments what you think about it. As I said, do check out my running channel. That's where I post much more often about running, fitness, nutrition for athletes, that sort of thing. There's a link in the description, and you can also check out, of course, that little banana book that I mentioned. And stay tuned for more videos in the future. But in the meantime, follow me on Instagram and my other YouTube channel. Alright, thanks guys. Bye.